So here we are outside the Chase Hotel, just about ready to depart en nous. There's Nigel, the logistics and van dumper offer extraordinaire. What a sight. And there's Roberto. And here's Jeff.
Well done, Frank. Good morning, Frank. How are you today?
I feel awful.
Oh no, you're bad. You're not a good kip.
Not a good kip.
No, mate, the same. Mr. Martin, he said there was a noisy crowd outside his room last night.
Yeah.
Frank's got a lot.
Thanks, mate. Raspberry Ruffles. And so this is just departing the Chase Hotel.
These are American.
So this is the first coffee stop of the day.
Frank, you're coming up. Frank.
We're at Maryport and the Aquarium Cafe. Martin is yelling something incomprehensible as usual, but I think he wants to be filmed.
There's Frank with his cheap Japanese camera, look.
And this is quite a big harbour. There's a trawler on its way out. So we're now in the fair town of Silloth, Carlisle by the sea, and we are lunching in the Fairy Dust and Declutter Company in their tea room. There's all the bicycles. There's Nigel, Martin and one or two others. I'm only joking, they're in here really.
If your phone's lying around somewhere, we'll do it. Oh! Wi-Fi go. Hello, Frank.
Peace to camera.
Peace to camera, Frank.
Peace on earth.
So where are we? We're in Scylla on Hadrian's Wall.
30, how many miles in?
32 miles.
32 miles
Something
in.
like
Some of
that.
us did 33 on the proper route.
Well done, some cheaters.
Some jibbers managed to cut a mile off.
Some
Taking a shortcut.
Yeah.
some jibbers.
Two people took a shortcut. Their names
No
were
names mentioned.
Frank and Jeff. They have to go back and start and do it again.
Well, better turn the camera off at that point. I
That's
think.
good, man.
So this evening we're staying in Bowness at the Shoregate House bed and breakfast, and I've got a dodgy tummy. This is there you go, Shoregate House bed and breakfast, very nice, and it's right next to the sea. Just coming down at dusk. We're just going to the pub for dinner. There we go, there's the signpost. Welcome Bowness on CycleWay, the beginning of Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall path, blah blah blah. So lots of signs. There's the CycleWay Firth. It's bleak this evening, tide is right out. Okay, so here we are at the King's Arms, just about to have some grub, and I'm just about to have some soup. And everyone's playing darts.
Yeah, that's low. 62, 72, 82, 81.
So I have to get more than 81.
No, you're not next.
Robert.
I'll lose a life.
Still can't have a go.
No, you're down the bottom.
As usual, there's a big...
Frank, can I talk to you about how we're having a game of darts and he deliberately left me off the list, and now he's put me to the bottom of the list and he won't let me have a go.
Well...
And Linda and I've only got one life left. Jeff's already out. Jeff's already out.
Hold on a second, hold on a second.
You're going to go over... Right, go on then. Over 81.
The target's 81, and I think I'm a natural at this, so I'm going to go... Most people would go below, but I'm going over.
Martin, we don't want your life history, thank you. Right, let's see.
Have you got a drink?
I'm going below.
Yes, thanks, mate.
I'm going below.
Yeah.
Very impulsive. Oh, look,
It's
that's
50, 62, you lucky bugger.
No, that's plain. I was trying. We're going to make it interesting.
But what about the one that's off the board? Surely
It's
they...
25 for that.
Oh, I see.
He had such a good buffer.
Oh, right.
Linda,
Right, so see,
you can tell Linda what to do
what's my
with 62.
62?
I
Linda.
thought he was going over it.
And this is the very nice guest house, the Shoregate house that we stayed in last night. It's now Tuesday, and here's mine host giving us some advice about the route being closed or something. Doesn't sound terribly good.
Straight over the bypass. And then just carry straight on. You got that, Martin? Good warning.
Then when you get to the castle,
And here comes the peloton. So we're at the Greyhound Inn in what village? They're on Sands. Right. And Martin's supposed to be taking a picture, but it just seems to be taking all day. It's just amazing.
We've taken a break from the cycle ride now to view this guy that thrashed the Scots, and then afterwards we'll be playing five-a-side football because this is elite sportsman group and we do multiple exercises.
That's what we like to hear. So who's this geezer?
Edward I.
Edward the First.
Right, quick, the clouds in. Can you get in the photo? Quick, over there.
Was Edward the First of Black Bridge?
Who's next, Frankie?
What?
Jeff, young man. This you.
What's next? In the hole in the wall there.
Oh, was it?
Brumpton is full. So we're not going, yeah. I'm not too sure whether we're going through Brumpton.
Would there be a... What?
So there's a bit of a... we had a bit of a hold up in Carlisle, thanks to... who? Oh, sorry, Dave. No, I wasn't going to...
Everybody. On this trip with the Lux Specialised Hotel. There's a weak chain link. Mind you,
shop we went into, I thought Martin was going to come out with a new bike.
Like
Yeah,
that
new
bike.
kit.
Sort of
No,
a
Judah
nice
loved it.
bike with
There
electronic
was all
gears,
sorts
you know.
of stuff in there, seriously.
Then he said it was £2,600.
2,600.
You
You
earned
kept
that in my
it.
lifetime.
Martin, you get that out of small change. Now come on.
Well, now you bought a Brompton.
Like, cheaper than your Brompton.
Everything's cheaper than my Brompton. So we're now off to Brampton, which is 4 miles. So we've just come into quite a nice little market town of Brampton. So there's a big church, and we're having lunch, slightly late lunch, in Mr. Brown's cafe bar. A lady down the road recommended it, and it looks pretty good. Additional seating available upstairs, so let's see where everyone is. Ham, egg and chips.
Ham, egg and chips.
Why not? Why not?
Can you get it out your mouth now? Hold it out. Wait till Mary's seen that.
I'll go straight viral. Can I go viral tomorrow? And I'll take off his marshmallows now.
You are on holiday, Robert.
I used to like marshmallows. I used to like Pascal marshmallows. Pink and white.
Nigel, marks out of 10 for Mr. Brown's.
I would have to give it 6.5.
6.5. That's
Yeah.
all. That seems quite low.
because of the extremely long wait.
There was a
Yeah,
bit of a
To
wait.
serve the food.
No.
It was
Food,
worth
I'd
waiting
give it
for.
8.5 for food.
Yeah,
Food was excellent.
yeah. But overall, one's got to take into account the level of service.
Right.
It wasn't very prompt.
Well, let's see, Mr. Chaos. Mr. Chaos, what was your marks out of 10 for Mr. Brown's?
Lovely place, lovely lady, looked after us brilliantly. Her name was Anne, very sweet. And she gave the Reverend Rob a hot chocolate, which you've got a photograph of, which had more cream and marshmallows than I've ever seen in a hot chocolate. And he
I
still
think
ate it, and he
I
still
think we're
keeps
going to have to
eating.
rename him Mr. Evading the Question. How many marks out of 10?
Brilliant.
Pick up the-
Oh, a politician.
Brilliant! Did we pick up the map? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it in there. You lost it.
Jeff, marks out of 10 for Mr. Brown's?
Mr. Brown, yes, I'd go for yes, I think so.
There's another one. Marks out of 10.
Oh, out of 10!
Bennett,
And we still don't get an answer.
It's not a trick question, is it?
No.
Oh, 8.
Oh, 8. All right, good. Yeah. I'll give it an 8 as well. So, Robert,
Oh.
marks out of 10 for Mr. Brown's.
Oh. It was a bit slow. 8.
8.
8.
Including taking off half a mark for slowness.
Yes, that's right. That's
Right.
right. That's right. Okay.
And you're a bit more generous than Nigel, who put it down at 6.5.
He did,
my
did
God.
he? That's
Yeah, I think
I
he's a bit tough on that one.
Yeah.
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 Looks more like a bloody line-up for a pornography film, if you ask me. Yeah, so we've been travelling for a day and a half, and this is the first part of the wall that we've actually seen. And here are the Romans who have just dug it up and built it. Absolutely brilliant job, guys. Right, so now we're all looking relaxed.
I think so.
Yeah, and what a fantastic view, I have to say.
Beautiful.
Looking south. So I think we need to reenact the battle, Frank. So we need 2 volunteers to get in the field and run up here towards us.
Right, okay.
Who wants to be Scott?
There's no evidence there was a
I
battle.
think
Losers.
Losers.
Scots always win in the end.
Oh, this is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. But we are sure, is it? That's not the wall there. This is the wall, is it? That's not that thing.
This is a wall, that's the wall.
Oh, okay. I just because it could confuse a stupid person, you know.
Another wall. Good cement, didn't they, in the old day, in the Roman times?
Well, they invented concrete, didn't they?
Oh, they invented this special concrete that nobody's been able to reproduce, that stops cement getting eroded by seawater. It actually goes harder. They
Oh,
found
right.
it at Alexandria.
Yeah,
Just had it chemically analysed, and somebody's done a PhD on it.
right.
And it's amazing. They can actually bring it into commercial production.
Really? Yeah.
There's always been a problem of seawater ruining cement underwater.
Yeah.
And they found that the Romans knew how to do it.
So we're going to go round like this, mate. Go round.
So we're at Banks East,
Over those trees somewhere.
turret 52A, observation tower.
See further on, there's the A689 that goes across Hartside Pass.
And here's Hadrian with his
We'll never see
boys,
him again.
with his centurions, with his lumberjacks, hauling out of town. So this is Jeff taking a picture of everybody, taking a picture of me, taking a picture.
Go on, Robert. Come on, young Robert.
Here he is, here he is, here he is.
On a bicycle.
Well, I thought that was the kind of, theme.
Theme.
Right, lad.
Slack stomachs in,
And one more.
chest out.
Just out, shoulders
Right, better. Right, stay there. There you go.
This evening we're now in Whistle, and we're staying in a nice hotel called the Centre of Britain, because evidently Whistle is the centre of Britain. And here are the girls chilling out with gin and tonic in hand. Just a job.
I think we're eating a little room all on our own, isn't it?
Oh, jolly good. Exclusive.
Nigel, don't
Don't
worry.
get my message. No.
Nigel, don't worry. We're going back there afterwards for a lock-in. I'm looking forward to fish and chips tomorrow.
It's only across the road, you'll be able to.
So this is Martin trying to crawl
Right,
out of
oh
a
yeah.
hole and not letting Nigel know about the drinks down the pub.
Just
Nigel
a
expects
glass
to
of
be
wine
told
to your coffee,
to come to the
take
pub
us
without
to
when you
the-
phone him 3 times
The
and then you
last
WhatsApp him and then he says, well, I don't have my phone.
6:30, we'll meet in the bar. I was sat in the bar at half
Okay,
past 6.
okay. The real truth is we didn't want him with us. That's the real truth.
Fair enough.
And there was a dog in there, and every time the dog came past, we said that's the sort of dog that would bite Nigel. Oh, yes, please, lots of it.
Glass of white for me, please. Glass of white wine? Yes, I'm going to have a glass of white wine instead of my pudding. So
Oh my goodness, where's the pudding? Work backwards.
down the bottom.
Pudding.
Blue sky. Barbecue.
This is riding out from Whistle. So down here is Vindolanda, which is, I think, the closest we're actually going to get to it today. Right, Martin, coffee rating for this establishment?
Fabulous. Really nice cup of coffee with a scone that was so big that even I could only eat half of it. But by the time you put clotted cream, blueberry jam on top, and then eaten half of everybody else's, actually it was fine.
Marks out of 10?
10.
10? This is
Fantastic. Really
10,
good coffee.
wow.
Yeah, in fact, my pace is now going to slow down dramatically because I raced to get here because of the coffee, and now there's no incentive, so now I'm just going to whinge.
Right,
Really grumpy for the rest of the trip.
well that'll be unusual.
I know.
This is us just leaving the coffee shop, and that was very nice. Thank you very much indeed. Bye bye.
Thank you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
We'll try.
Thank you.
And that was, what was that place? Just called this way for great coffee.
That was 9 out of 10 for that place.
Martin gave it 10.
No, I can't. I'm trying to hard to like it.
This is just us leaving. Where are we leaving?
We're leaving Corbridge.
Corbridge. And there's Jeff. And there's me. So we're now en route, leaving Corbridge, and we're en route to meet Nigel's daughter. Should be nice. And here we are, just cycling through Corbridge. It's rather a nice little place. We're going through a very nice country park. And 29 miles today. Peloton is up ahead. Moving into view.
Everything was nice about it. Oh, you alright, Frankie boy?
Oh,
That was a rough old. My hand. Oh.
No. Isn't it, Jeff? I'm holding the handlebars like that and just letting the thing vibrate.
yeah.
I'd have to have words with the
Martin, Nigel didn't even notice with his tractor tires.
I was like that bike yesterday. We were with Sheen.
That would have, I was saying to Nigel, that would have been a great practice for it.
Specialised, got the suspension in the headstock. No, Nigel, or one of them.
Are they?
2,600.
Yeah. Worth every penny.
You can almost buy a Brompton roll-off for that.
Almost.
Ready?
And away we go.
Away we go.
We're going over. A rather nice bridge across the Tyne. I'm in the wrong gear. So there's the Tyne. So we've just come over the Hag Bank Bridge.
An iconic piece of industrial architecture. Cracker. Hag Bank Bridge. Hag Bank Bridge. One of the first arch suspension bridges.
One of the first arch suspension bridges in the country, near Wylam. Hi there.
So why would that? What's the divot in the middle for? Engineers. The rail would have run either side, presumably, but what's the bit in the middle? Why would it go down like that? That's where the ashes go.
This is Martin asking very awkward questions as usual.
No, I think they just covered up the gap. There'd have been a gap.
Oh, the shallow mine working?
Down through. for the
Yeah.
stop people falling down it.
And Dave giving an explanation which Martin is entirely happy with, but it's vaguely plausible.
Get down underneath it, you'll be able to see it. Vaguely plausible. Thank you. Thank you.
Read it out, Jeff. Come on.
It's 10 miles.
Really 10 miles. We're in the centre here already.
Centre of Newcastle. Time out, we're going along the eastern suburbs of Newcastle to North Shields to the mouth of the Tyne. And then Whitley Bay is
Just a bit up.
3 miles down the coast.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
It's like being in Bradford and Avon and saying you've reached Bath.
Right, are we hungry for cafe?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, where do you want to pick stop for the bridges? A little bit further down on the quayside.
Hi.
Yes,
Yeah.
nice.
Close that one.
Yeah?
Good quality coffee.
What? Yeah. No, it's
So we're at Saddle Skedaddle headquarters in Newcastle. The Twisty Bridge is down there. There's a little riverboat. There's Martin with his small shot coffee.
Made more new friends.
I mean, he's bloody hopeless, isn't he? I mean, it's like you can't.
Coffee. You're not ready to go yet.
Well, everybody's just about to make a move.
Well, you'd have about an hour and a half for your soup left.
No, take your time, mate. I don't think there's any rush.
He's got a coffee. Oh, that's so good. Nice. I think the least you could have done is organise a little trip up on that boat over there. We could have wasted an hour going up and down the river on that.
look, Ryan, we need to get this van sorted for you, for your convenience. We need to get a move on.
No, I'm only interested in Whitley Bay.
Collingwood. Oh,
It might be.
Admiral Collingwood. Fair enough.
Admiral Collingwood. Collingwood was with
Nelson. Nelson.
He was.
Yeah,
Collingwood.
I didn't know that.
He didn't come out for another 5 years after the battle.
What of Trafalgar?
He transferred
Right,
to
Jeff,
the
get in there with.
Right, so this is the end of the this is the end
I
of
don't
Route
want David in
72.
like that.
I'll do the same with the
Oh,
Oh,
we couldn't
hooray!
get our friend from behind the
Yeah,
boat.
he's
Yeah,
just
wait for
checking
our-
up the otters.
Can you wait for our friend? He's
Don't she'll understand what.
He's had to sort of.
I don't think she'll understand what.
Yes, he understands.
Dave, we've got a picture waiting.
I'm coming, yeah.
Dress
Some
yourself.
charming young ladies that is waiting for you.
Dress yourself properly.
The doctor's there, definitely.
Right, come on. Team photo. Well done, Frank.
Well done.
Take your hat off.
Yeah.
So it's Wednesday evening, and we finished the ride, and we're having a beer or two in the Turk's Head Hotel.
That's me outside the house.
Oh, it's lovely. There we are. The house in which he was. Oh, they were wonderful, weren't they? And they could be quite hostile. Yes, yeah. The dog was nice and everything. Oh, we
So we took the house, I picked it up a bit, you know. It's like all this way.
Just to see.
I can't hear.
Not big enough for that end of the table.
There's going to be a lot left when it gets down here.
Pass that down to Linda.
No, not
You can have that.
So we're into serious Martin creme brulee.
Right, Linda and Maggie are
Yeah,
sorted.
yeah.
Come on.
Wow.
I think I better stand up for this one.
Oh my god, right.
It does all this, and you can see the top of it.
That wasn't 180 and
You're looking orgasmic, Martin.
No. That's bloody lovely, that's why
Right, get a spoon off.
That's bloody lovely. Have a spoonful of that, Jeff. Only my friends can share my creme brulee. Frank, we'll see if there's any left for Frank at the end.
Seems to be rapidly going.
You've been waiting for that, Martin.
I have.
4 days, haven't you?
That is good creme brulee. Every single place I've been to, I've asked if they've got it. Leave Frank a tiny bit. And there's still another bit for
Frank, when you finish, pass it back
I might have to kill somebody.
Oh.
Look, he's been, open wide, Frank. Open wide. Don't dribble in it.
Open wide, Frank.
That's going to be lost in the cutting room floor. Get in there. I see. Right, hang on. I'll do a lick. That's it.
The whole deal. Yeah.
You have to get smaller and smaller and smaller, don't you? Finish it smaller and smaller and smaller.
I'm just going to take that one.
That's a good game, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Cutting it by a fraction. Maybe on the bloody love it, isn't it? You tomorrow. I love it. That was a good idea to get one. A very good idea.
The last bit plays a good shout.
But when the music stops. That's it, the last bit for you. The perfectly adequate. Pass.
No,
pass.
oh no, right. You, Rob. That's it. Can't pass.
That's you, Robert. It's you.
I think even passing is just no, Robert. Sorry.
Yeah, that
Why do you think I'm not passing is an admission that
you have guilt.
You're the last person.
Right, okay, fine. Suits me.
Lick it.
Very nice. Good. Thank you.
Well done, Robert.
Well done. Well done, Martin. Well done, Dave.
So this has been the
Frank,
Old Rose
we're now departing.
guest house.
Local boy makes good. Leaving my roots. Leaving my roots. Up the road. I'll be back here in another 60 years' time to see whether my house is still standing. Aye, man.
I'm sure the town will look forward to that.